Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai 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 Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om. बोलो बोलो.
ओम नमस्ते गणपते त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं नरतासि त्वमेव केवलं नरतासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मायाति अबे ब्रह्मासि अवतो माम् अवभक्तारम्
अवशोतारम् अवधातारम् अवधातारम् अवस्तात् अवदरातात् अवदक्षिणातात् अवचोद्वातात् अवधरातात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वानमयस्तं चिन्मय त्वं वानमयस्तं ब्रह्ममय त्वं सच्चिदानन्दादित्योऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगतं तत्तो जायते सर्वं जगतं तत्तो तिष्ठति सर्वं जगतं त्वयि नेष्यति सर्वं जगतं त्वयि प्रत्येति ॐ भूमिनाथो निलो निलो नमः ॐ चत्वारि वाक्पदानि ॐ गुणत्रयातीतः ॐ देहत्रयातीतः ॐ कालत्रयातीतः ॐ मूलाधारो सरोज नित्यम् ॐ शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वमेवो नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मास्तं विष्णुस्तं रुद्रास्तं इन्द्रास्तं अग्नेस्तं वायुस्तं सूर्यास्तं चन्द्रमास्तं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवस्वरो गणादिपरमुच्चार्य वर्णादितरतन्त्र अनुस्वारपर्तर हृदेन तुलसितं तारेण रुद्धम् एकत्वमनुस्वरूपम् अकारपूर्वरूपम् अकारमध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वार शान्तिरूपम् वेन्दत्वरूपम् नादसगानम् शैषा सन्धि शैषा गणेश विद्या गणकऋषि निचिल गायत्री छन्दा गणपति देवता ॐ गणगणपते नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुरास्त्रं पाशनं कुशिधारिणं प्रदन्तवरदं हस्ते इन्द्रालम्बोषकध्वजं रक्तलम्बोदरं शुभकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानि लिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सपूजितं भक्तानिकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारमच्युतम् आवेन भूतसृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृते पुरुषात् परम् एव तथा यतो नित्यं स योगी योगिनामरा नमो गणाधिपते नमो गणपते नमः ब्रह्मपते नमस्ते आस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः।
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री 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 राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri
Surat mana rumah dia ni kai paslat londe.
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram.
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम
जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय राम ओम श्री 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 राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai
Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Pranam, pranam, pranam.
प्रणाम स्वामी जी, प्रणाम स्वामी।
Pranam, pranam, pranam.
नमस्कारम स्वामी जी।
Namaskaram,
प्रणाम
namaskaram.
स्वामी जी, प्रणाम स्वामी।
प्रणाम स्वामी जी।
Pranam, pranam.
स्वामी जी प्रणाम।
What is to be shared?
स्वामी जी हरिओम स्वामी।
Hari Om. Sadar pranam, sadar pranam.
I have question स्वामी जी
Ah,
from the stress to serenity document.
Stress to serenity.
ah,
The in first chapter is written great white, a synonym of Ram, stands for all enveloping reality which remains ever untouched and unaffected by the different characteristics that separate one form from the rest. So, what is that characteristic that separate one form from the rest? What?
Where from you are talking?
Chapter 1. Swamiji, chapter 1. Third point.
Chapter 1.
Third point. Third point.
Eh?
Chapter 1.
Third point.
Swamiji, not
Third
in
point.
Stress to Serenity, that book.
I have got that. Stress to
Third
Serenity.
point.
Third point.
First chapter, third point.
Fourth point.
Third.
Third. Point 3.
Synonym of Ram stands for the all-enveloping reality which remains ever untouched and unaffected by the different characteristics that separate one form from the rest. Great void.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
Suppose you have got a big vessel, no? Whatever we put, it may be a sweet dish, it may be a spicy dish, it may be a bitter dish, but it will not complain, It allows everything to exist, but remains untouched and unaffected. Unconditional. So God, Papa is trying to bring this idea into our mind through the word great void. Void means, there is nothing. Nothing that is knowable. It is not nothing actually. It is something, we are all existing, So we are not nothing. We have come from something. That something is not anything connected with our knowables. Whatever is knowable, whatever that can be brought within the ambit of thoughts, it is not there. So what do we say there? So we call it as empty. Actually, it is not empty. It is the one, just like space,
Yes.
The space accommodates everything. Space remains untouched and unaffected. At the same time, it doesn't put any condition also. Everything exists in the space. Space allows everything to exist. God allows everything to exist. God remains untouched and unaffected. If God is not there, nothing exists. If space is not there, nothing exists. So Ram stands for synonym of Ram. In the first article, he has introduced Ram. What is Ram? Ram is the truth. Ram is love. Ram is the goal of human perfection. Okay? Then he also said he stands for self-effacement.
Intelligence.
He stands for selfless service. And then when he takes up the first chapter, he says this, third one, great void. When as a sense of individuality, he cried, where is rest, where is peace? Then intuitively he heard the answer from the great void. So it is difficult to translate in any language. Mahashunyata, people may say, but whether it can be understood or not.
So it is saying that you gave that example of building. We are constructing building. It's same thing.
Yeah. In the space.
Yes.
Space allows things. Space will not say you will have only temple. Space will not say you will have only cremation ground. Whether it is temple or a cremation ground, whether it is birth or death, everything is accommodated. Whether it is deplorable things, whether noble things, everything is allowed here. But he remains untouched, unaffected.
Now clear.
All pervading, at the same time, all enveloping, remains ever untouched and unaffected by the different characteristics that separate one from the other. This is a very important word. And Papa only used this. We have been trying to search from where he would have got. And in Yoga Vasishtha, it comes. When Lord Rama asks for certain clarifications, Vasishtha Maharshi gives. When he keeps on pressing, what is that? Tell me, what is that? What is that? What is that? Then at that time he says, he is the great void. Because it can't be answered. It is a power, that is why Papa defines God as the subtle and mysterious power. A power which cannot be brought within the knowables, mysterious. Not only agocharam, anirvachyam, no. It cannot be explained. The moment you explain, it is not that. Because that which is behind the explanation. Now these words are coming. The power behind the words. We are seeing. The power behind the seeing. How can it be explained? So but at the same time, we need something by which we try to approximate, go nearer to that.
Yes.
Something we need, because mind is the tool with which we travel, but mind cannot enter there. But in order that the mind travels in this direction, we need something that is known to the mind. That is called, the relative things. But it is not the abstract.
Okay.
So that we can only intuitively feel.
Right.
But that is a puja. Mataji always used to bring this Kali Swarup. That is very easy for us to understand.
Right. Okay.
This hall was not there. Then the hall, it was the space was here. That space was nameless and formless. But now it is Centenary Hall. It has got a name and form. But God forbid, if we remove the wall and the roof, the same space exists, nameless, formless. But it doesn't get affected. Just because this is constructed, it is not reduced. Just because when it is demolished, it does not get increased. It is always the same. But we have put a name and form. We have put a label to it now. So it exists in that. So that which exists, that because of which everything exists.
Yes. It is not affected.
It is not affected.
Clear. Very clear. And one more point is there, Swamiji. Renunciation is throwing ourselves entirely at His mercy. Is it surrender?
What did he do? No, we are just trying to remember. Renunciation is throwing ourselves entirely at His mercy. Nothing we keep, because we are 100% sure that He will take care. No, it is not 99.99. Entirely means 100. Suppose we go for a tour, every now and then we calculate and put money, Nowadays ATM is there, but still something you will keep. That means every now and then you are checking up whether it is there or not. But here, Papa clearly mentions, outwardly we may renounce, but inwardly we would not have renounced. So renunciation means throwing ourselves entirely at His mercy, entirely. He will take care with that faith. Toughest. But we should at least try to accept it as an ideal and move towards that ideal. At least 5%, 10%, 25%. Entirely it may not be possible. But something towards that, reducing our wants, living on simple living habits, not relying too much on external factors. Like that, we can steadily progress. But
it should be natural, Swamiji. Because it should be natural. Otherwise, if we keep on telling us, otherwise we have to keep on reminding ourselves.
Correct. It should
So
become.
it should be natural.
You are right. The more we rely on him, this becomes natural. As you said, it is not because of our education. It becomes natural. It is a natural outcome of our reliance on God. Our priority gets shifted. When we were children, we were fond of all, what do you call it? Teddy bear or playful things. Nobody, we will cry if somebody asks. We will keep it, like this. Even when we sleep, we will keep it with us. But when we grew, what happened to that? Can we say we have renounced it? It dropped off by itself. It dropped off by itself. When we have outgrown. So similarly, when we know the transient nature of all the sense objects that are with us, and we will outgrow it, it does not attract us. So that is a stage we have to keep on thinking, because it is transient. Yesterday it was so nice and beautiful. Today it can't be the same. Everything is subject to change. Everything is subject to modification. I want that which does not change. So renunciation is throwing ourselves entirely at his mercy. Renunciation is tested only by exposing ourselves to the outer world. No? Next one comes.
Can I ask one more?
You ask. We are working on that only now. Because all the South Indian languages...
Consecrating life to dwell on the inner reality and serve him in outer forms.
Consecrating life to dwell on the inner reality, serve him in outer forms.
Yes.
Because they should go hand in hand. Because in the 3 vows he has taken. So we need not think that sannyas means becoming insensitive to the demands and suffering of the people in and around us. No doubt we have to withdraw initially from everything, including seva, because we have to exclusively concentrate on getting the balance. Just like when you are trying to practice, get the balance of cycling, so many times you have to keep on trying. And the moment the balance comes, then it becomes a part of your life, and you don't have to struggle. Effortlessly it comes.
Yes.
So here, we have to struggle to concentrate upon this indwelling reality, and once we have reached that stage, our life should be consecrated completely to the meditation of him. That means to dwell on him, that he is there. Doesn't mean that we become insensitive to the sufferings and demands of the people in and around us. God is also throwing before us fields for selfless service. As soon as he came out from the adoption of sannyas, when he saw the 2 people who were singing the glories of the name, when they were appealing to the Almighty, that why you have only given 9 paise, whereas from morning till noon we have been chanting your name. Does your bhajan only cost this much? Immediately, he was there. God provided a field for him to try and check up. Immediately he said, no, Ram has sent this Ramdas to answer your question. Then he paid 1 rupee, So consecrating a life to dwell on the inner reality, that is one thing. And at the same time, serve him in outer form. Both should go hand in hand. If we don't develop this, we may slip into social seva. And social service will not be beneficial for a sadhaka. The concept of social seva. Because there you feel you are helping somebody.
Right.
Here God has provided us an opportunity field for us to serve him through that form. So it is not social seva. God is providing me a field which I cannot create.
Right. Correct.
Somebody is likely to fall, he puts me very near to him, I immediately go and try to help him, save him. God is providing the field for me to help him through that form.
Understood.
So that is, both should go hand in hand. If this is not there, this dwelling on God is not there, we might feel, we are doing social service. That is why right from day one, Mataji's attitude is, lot of seva activity she was doing, Whatever she was doing only we are trying to continue, with nothing to fall back upon. There was nothing at all. But she will borrow, in our language borrow, and then she will buy lands, construct houses, give to the homeless, or meeting their medical needs, or educational needs, or self-employment needs. All those things she was doing it. But so somebody went and asked her, why are you doing it like this? Why don't you publicize this so that everybody will get inspired to do it? Then Mataji immediately said, when you buy something for your child, will you tom-tom to everybody? So that means you will tom-tom only when you see the otherness. Here God is providing, God is taking. What is there to tom-tom? So she teaches what should be the attitude while we serve.
Exactly. Clear.
Beautiful.
And
The-
one more thing. Oran, the truth, the love, the goal of human perfection, all hail, all hail. So, what is all hail, all hail?
Before introducing Ram to us, you should know this is Papa's first book. And when he starts the text, he brings the word Ram right from the first chapter. So before he introduces Ram, he wants us to know what Ram stands for. Otherwise, we will all be under so many confusions. We should have the right concept. In one of his quotations, he says, little. There are many who are doing sadhana. They do not know why they are doing. Their conception of God is very limited and narrow. They must have in the first place a right conception of God before they try to attain Him. So before we enter into inquest of God, we should have some clarity on the word God. He named God as Ram. And so now he is giving a definition about Ram. So Ram stands for truth. Truth means not opposite of untruth. Truth means that which stays forever. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Love. Love means absence of otherness. Goal of human perfection. A state of completeness, purnatvam.
Okay.
Flawlessness or supreme excellence. And then, Papa is not satisfied with all these. And he put a mysterious word, so that we will start thinking about it. This cannot be defined. So he said subtle and mysterious power. It is subtle, not gross. It cannot be shown. It cannot be explained. It can only be experienced. And it is mysterious. It is there, but we can't pinpoint. Everybody will be struggling hard to find a suitable word in another language. Mysterious, nigud. In Gujarati, what do you say?
Good.
Eh?
Good.
Good. Does it convey that?
Yes. Clear.
Because that is inside, Just think, the words are coming, or you are now looking at me,
Yes.
that power.
Correct.
In Kanhangad it says, that power because of which your eyes see, but with the eyes you cannot see. Know that I am.
Correct.
The power because of which we are seeing now, but with the eyes we cannot see that power.
Right.
It cannot be explained. It is mysterious. It is subtle. So then we have given the definition, borrowing words from Peace Pilgrim: creative force, sustaining power, that which motivates towards constant change, overall intelligence, goodness, kindness, beauty, the ever-present, all-pervading essence or spirit, which binds everything in the universe together and gives life to everything. Life is also a mystery, we cannot show it.
Yes.
And binding. For example, you are sitting before the TV. Suddenly the news comes, God forbid, a deplorable thing had happened somewhere. You just watch, what will be your spontaneous reaction? Oh God, you are not physically, emotionally, geographically connected with that person. But why do you say, oh God?
Connection.
Because He is there, which binds everything in the universe. When anybody does in any part of the world, any noble thing, when you hear that, you find a joy, We may forget about it, but everybody will feel, oh. When we get a lot of anecdotes on various values, we get thrilled. It has happened somewhere. He does not know us, we do not know him. But what is it, that binds us? Then we try to understand, oh, He is there, in them, in us, in everywhere. That is the one tries to come out of the aperture. And then, that which binds everything in the universe together and gives life to everything. Mahatmas who have scaled the heights, they are always dwelling in that. To them, there is no otherness. So they are always bound to Him through His creation. They are not bound to the creation, they are bound to Him through His creation.
Right. Correct.
So subtle and mysterious power. So all hail, all hail.
All hail, all hail.
क्या बोलता है hail?
Let us enjoy. Is it like
victory.
Not victory. Not
Jai ho, something like
Jai
that.
Jai ho.
Jai ho.
Eh?
Jai ho.
Jai ho.
Jai ho.
Okay, if you have understood, that is enough. Forget about the word. Papa couldn't contain, when after scaling the heights, he couldn't contain. So the revelation just came out.
Right. Correct. Clear. Clear, son.
1 minute, let me
And
try.
Swamiji, what is refrain of voice? What is refrain of voice?
Refrain of voice.
What is refrain of voice?
Refrain of voice, right?
Where is the refrain? A refrain means repeating, the thread, the
Continuation.
that means you are telling from the
Listen,
I'll tell you. You would have probably spontaneity of life, born of an egoless purity and innocence, a consciousness of the indwelling and all-pervading reality, and a constant effort to see Him in all with an unconditional, cheerful acceptance of all situations ordained by Him, the supreme notes and refrain of the voice that rings through the whole text. Is that what you mean?
yes.
Same word, no?
Yes, same word.
Ah.
Refrain of voice.
So that is it's a poetic language, no?
Okay.
No, I'll tell you. It is repeated, no? The theme is repeated.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
these three throughout the 37 chapters, this theme is repeated again and again and again. Just like a thread is there that goes when you make a rosary. The thread is there,
Okay.
connecting one flower to another flower. So
Yes,
repeatedly you will hear this, Papa's these words. So
Yes.
that is why this word has been used as refrain.
Now clear, sir.
Clear?
Clear.
Oh,
Very clear.
very clear.
Correct. Thank you, Swami. Thank you.
Okay.
Clear. Clear, Swami.
Very good. Then,
Thank you.
anything else? It so coincided, Miraben, that today from morning till now, 4 o'clock, translation of this stress to serenity in Malayalam, in Tamil, in Telugu, in Kannada. 4 people were sitting. And we were going through each and everything. We have started.
Actually, I was planning to come.
So we were remembering you, but unfortunately we have no access towards Gujarati. So we will not be able to give much.
But I can
These three are interconnected. This Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, and they were all helping each other. One word, suppose somebody is struggling, the another language man will help us. So we were then trying to go through the text now. We are just entering into the chapters, that's all. It's so coincided that you asked the same thing.
And I was also thinking to come there and sit there and do.
ठीक है. You can come and do that.
Thank you. I will finalize it. I have done most of the work, but for finalizing, I try to come there. So
And then yeah. But our knowledge in Gujarati, it's very difficult, Let us see how much we can help.
Yes. I'll be able to say in English after translating.
Hindi also we have not. Hindi also we will try. So probably Hindi, if we understand it, if we get the right word in Hindi, probably we may be able to have a right word in Gujarati.
Yes.
Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, some commonness is there.
Yes.
Marathi, Hindi and Gujarati.
Marathi?
Marathi has a lot of commonness with Malayalam.
Arillo. Somebody should sit with us, then go through that, then only we will know. And it will be a good sadhana, I tell you, whether somebody gets benefit or not. You get more and more clarity on the word, and the in-depth study of Inquest of God, really it benefits when we go through it intensely. And it gets stamped in our heart so that whenever we meet with such circumstances, to a great extent it will help. So Papa is...
Only water, spiritual obstacle is what from the spiritual water is the word obstacle. Word obstacle. The word obstacle is spiritual water is the word from the obstacle.
Could not
Abstract.
Abstract.
From the abstraction.
Abstract thing, it is not tangible, Love, eppadi solla mudiyum? Illaya?
What is the difference from the spiritual power?
Abstract and relative. Abstract eppadi solla mudiyum? Abstract ku enna solla mudiyum? Abstract ku enna solla mudiyum? Sheshu mama.
Uncle, for abstract, what do you say in Tamil? Abstract. Something that you can't explain easily.
It can't. That which cannot be explained is called abstract.
Cannot be shown.
അത് പുരിയത്താൻ വേണം. ഒരു എക്സ്പീരിയൻഷ്യൽ ലെവലിൽ தான் എല്ലാം തെളിയും. റിലേറ്റീവ് എല്ലാം ചൊല്ലണം. ആത്മീക ஆமாம். என்னது?
Spiritual meaning, it seems.
Spiritual meaning, abstract. It can't. Spiritual or literal, we cannot explain. ஆன்மான்னு இருக்க ஸ்பிரிட். இப்போ என்னத்தினால நீ கேட்குறாய் எங்கிட்ட, அந்த பவர் என்னன்னு சொல்ல முடியுமா? அதுதான் abstract. நீ பார்க்குறே எதனால பார்க்குறேன்னு ஒன்றால் சொல்ல முடியுமா? அதான். ஆனால் இருக்குது அந்த ட்ரூத்து. ஆனால் அது என்ன, அதை வேர்ட்ஸில் சொல்ல முடியாது. வேர்ட்ஸுக்கு அப்பாற்பட்ட சீமையில் இருக்கிறதுனால, பிகாஸ் இட் இஸ் பியாண்ட் தி பவுண்ட்ரிஸ் ஆஃப் அவர் எக்ஸ்பிரஷன் தாட், we cannot bring it into the ambit of this. It is difficult. அதனால தான் indescribable சொன்னாவா. பப்பா காடுன்னு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுறத மாதாஜி அதுதான் சொன்னான். நிர்குண நிர்விகார நிராகார சாஸ்வத ஆனந்த ஸ்வரூப். எல்லாம் இப்படி தான் சொல்ல முடியும். வாட் இட் இஸ் நாட், இட் இஸ் நாட், இட் இஸ் நாட், இட் இஸ் நாட், வாட் இட் இஸ் சொல்ல முடியாது. ശങ്കരാചാര്യരുടെ നിർവാണ ഷഡ്കത്തിൽ ചൊല്ലിയിട്ടില്ല, ഇതല്ല അതല്ല അതല്ല ഇതല്ല എന്നാ. മനോബുദ്ധി അഹങ്കാര ചിത്താനി നാ അഹം നച ശ്രോത്ര ജിഹ്വേ നചഗ്രാണ നേത്രേ നച വ്യോമ ഭൂമീന തേജോന വായു ചിതാനന്ദരൂപം ശിവോഹം ശിവോഹം. അത് ഇന്നാന്ന് ചൊല്ല മുടിയാത്. മനസ്സാൽ മനോബുദ്ധി അഹങ്കാര ചിത്താനി നാഹം, ഇതൊന്നുമല്ല. കേട്ടതല്ല, ചൊന്നതല്ല, പാത്തതല്ല. നച ശ്രോത്ര ജിഹ്വേ, டேஸ்ட் பண்ணதல்ல. நஜகிராண நேத்ரே, ஸ்மெல் பண்ண முடியாது. எதனால ஸ்மெல்லிங் நடக்கிறதோ அது. ஸோ தட் பவர் தட் வி கேனாட் எக்ஸ்பிளைன். அதுக்கு தான் நான் இந்த மாதிரி நான் அதெல்லாம் சொல்கிறத, வாட் எவர் வி ஹவ் நோன், வாட் எவர் வி ஹவ், இட் கம்ஸ் அண்டர் த நோவபிள் கேட்டகரி. வென் இட் இஸ் ரிமூவ்ட், வாட் ரிமைன்ஸ் இஸ் தட். സ്പിരിച്വൽ ലെവലിൽ പുറത്ത് அப்படி தான் அவ செய்ய முடியும். இப்படியாக்குன்னு சொல்லவே முடியாது. ഇതൊന്നുമല്ല എന്നാൽ പിന്നെ എന്നെ കേൾക്കും, അതാക്കും.
Good expression which cannot be expressed.
Good.
It is a good expression for what cannot be explained. But these words are very valuable for us.
No.
They are for us, it is for imagination at least.
Correct.
That it is not this, it is not that.
No. But something is there then. Not this, not this, not this. But yes, then what remains is that, That is why the great void does not mean emptiness. It is fullness. Emptiness is fullness. Emptiness of the knowables. Fullness of that which is, the isness, the beingness.
Because this emptiness is not very, very attractive. Like, we would not like to find it. Emptiness is not, we would not like to find. If there is something completed, something that will complete our entity,
correct,
then we will feel like looking for it.
So as we go deeper and deeper into the inner chambers, we will slowly understand the meaning of all these things. Though it cannot be, it is past words, it cannot be put in expression. But it can be to some extent we can start feeling or realizing it or experiencing it when we take to inward journey. Hari Om. Today we have got 20 minutes more. I think today's mood, we should again read that silence. to remember, which is the core of our being.
Somebody is saying Swamiji.
Yes.
தமிழ்ல வர்ணிக்க முடியாதது விவரிக்க முடியாதது அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு abstract throat meaning.
வர்ணிக்க முடியாதது கரெக்ட்.
விவரிக்க முடியாதது
அதான் அப்படிதான் சொல்ல முடியும். அது இன்னதாக்குன்னு சொல்ல முடியாது.
closer to abstract.
ஆமாம். We are again going through that so that these abstracts, we are trying to understand the silence means what? Abstract. Cannot explain. The moment you start explaining about silence, we have broken the silence, you know. So we are trying to understand the silence by breaking the silence and then trying to go beyond the expressions. This should be very clear to us, because mind is the only vehicle, thought is the only vehicle through which we can understand, but we can travel only up to a certain boundary. Afterwards it stops and it becomes an experience. This should be very, very clear when we go through this exercise. Initially, to concentrate upon one train of thought, we have to remove all other thoughts and travel in the one line thought, and that thought also stops, and then what remains is the experience. So that is the introduction to silence. Virat Papa says, bhajan must lead you into silence. Silence not merely orally, but mentally. None of us are in a position to eke out the benefit from bhajans, because at that time our mind dwells on the raga, the accompaniments, the artist, to some extent on the song. But the lyrics or the theme, when we concentrate more and more on it, all other things go away and the theme will take us inward. So this is what Papa meant. Bhajan must lead you into silence. Silence not merely orally, but mentally. That stage of silence you must reach soon, without going on making noises all the life. Utterance of God's name is to make the mind ultimately still, free from all thoughts. We are all chanting Ram Nam, no? For decades now. But this is the idea. Utterance of God's name is to make the mind ultimately still, free from all thoughts. In the stillness it is that you know and realize God. Out of silence, tremendous forces are released, wonders are worked. Learn to be silent. It is not merely outer silence, but inner silence, silence of the mind. When we recede into the depths of silence within us, one by Hari Om. When we recede into the depths of silence within us, we arrive at the true basis of our life. Again we remind, this is purely a subjective subject. Unless we go along with Papa's words, we will not be able to capture the theme, the essence. When we recede into the depths of silence within us, we arrive at the true basis of our life. we discover that from this source, all life and manifestation have come forth in their amazing variety and multiplicity. It is at this source that we discover the eternal fountain of peace and joy. Until an individual gets the vision of this fundamental existence, that means peace and joy is within me. No? Papa wants here, until the individual gets the vision of this fundamental existence, this inherent peace and joy, he will be simply groping on the surface and therefore in the dark, in pursuit of vain and evanescent things, believing that these can yield him true peace and happiness, which his soul hungers for. So until an individual gets the vision of this fundamental existence, that means until and unless the sense of individuality experiences the peace and joy within, all my efforts to get peace and joy from outside will be in vain. He is beyond our comprehension. He stands for God, indwelling all remain. Therefore, silence is He. Silence is Brahman. The self does not require silence. It is always silent. Now, Swami Shivananda says, purify the mind and meditate. Purify the mind means me and mine, no? Eradicating the me and mine. Be still and know that you are God. Calm the mind. Silence the bubbling thoughts and surging emotions. Plunge deep into the innermost recess of your heart. Inward journey. God or Brahman is supreme silence. Soul is silence. Peace is silence. Atman is silence. Silence is the language of Brahman. Silence is the language of the heart. Silence is the language of the sage. Silence is immense strength. Silence is great eloquence. Silence is God. Silence is the substratum for this body, mind, prana, senses. Silence is the background for the sense universe. Silence is power. Silence is a living force. Silence is the only reality. The peace that passeth all understanding is silence. The goal of your life is silence. The aim of your life is silence. The purpose of your existence is silence. Behind all noises and sound is silence, thy innermost soul. Silence is thy real name. Silence is intuitive experience. Silence helps the intuitional self to express itself. Mysterious is this silence. To go into silence is to become God. Enter into silence. Know the silence. Enjoy the magnanimous silence. Become silence itself. Realize God now and here. That is why Papa, while taking the 3 vows, he said, consecrating entirely for the this life be henceforth entirely consecrated to meditation and the service of Sri Ram. So this is one type of inward journey by which we try to concentrate upon one train of thought and have a glimpse of the core of our being. Every now and then we have to keep on trying, and at the same time become an instrument to serve this indwelling reality coming in the form of outer forms. This particular vow covers everything. Not merely the inward journey, but service based upon, built upon this aspect. First, he did not mention about service. First, he said about the consecrated to meditation. Meditation of Ram and the service of Sri Ram. So, meditation based upon that, serving the creations of Ram. So, Ram provides field for us to serve Ram coming in different forms. If I have to know that, I must be well established in Sri Ram's presence inside. So meditation helps us to feel his presence inside, and then to realize he is providing us fields for serving him through his different forms. So this silence is this 23, there are 23 slides in this PPT. Called out from Papa and Swami Shivanji Maharaj's words. Every now and then we try to bring this. Whenever the mind is sattvic, whenever it is free from protein thoughts, it will help us to have a glimpse of that subtle and mysterious power dwelling within us. This is the clue they have given to us. That is why nowadays it is becoming very, very clear. No other text is necessary. In Quest of God is full and complete. If we go deeper and deeper into this, previously when we were reading Meditation of Ram, consecrated to Meditation of Ram and Service of Ram, just at the surface level we understood the literal meaning. But these two words now is profound, That is why he now makes us to hear this silence, so that his presence can be felt. It is not a theory, it is not a tall talk. That is the base, substratum for body, mind, pranas, Everybody can try now some of the words that will help us on this silence which we have heard now. Yesterday you tried, day for yesterday you tried.
The aim of our life is
The aim of our life is silence.
Stillness is silence.
Stillness. Okay.
Our true existence is silence.
True existence is silence.
Faithfulness.
No, whatever we have heard now, try to. Whatever we have heard now, try to remember.
Silence is language for communication.
Silence is the language of communication.
Not communication. Silence is the language of the soul.
Going into silence is to become God.
Going into silence is to become
Beautiful.
God.
Going into silence is to become God. Yes.
Silence is Brahman.
Silence is Brahman.
Silence is the language of our nature.
Silence is the language of the heart.
Silence is peace.
Peace.
Silence is peace, or peace is silence.
Silence is abundance.
Yes?
Every now and then we must go to solitude.
That is right. Silence is immense strength.
Silence is the Atman.
Atman is silence.
Swamiji, silence is an experience, Swami. Purely an experience.
Intuitive experience. Silence is intuitive experience.
It is a speechless eloquence.
Speechless eloquence.
Silence is eloquence. Okay.
Silence is stillness.
Silence is stillness.
Silence is bliss.
Bliss.
Silence is bliss.
Silence is
Silence is
substratum.
Only why silence is not a very peace. Silence is dancing from the melody of God. Silence is God. Silence is God.
Silence is God.
Silence is God.
That is silence to God. Surrender.
Silence is God. That's what we are trying to remember, What we have heard now, we are trying to remember so that one word may help us to go within. Not that all words we have to remember. One word from these 23 slides, if it gets rooted or imprinted in our heart, that will be instrumental in going inward. Because it will keep on coming back and coming back and coming back. The drilling will take place. Plumbing in will take place. One explanation.
Silence is the only reality.
Silence is the only reality. Very good.
Silence is core of our being.
Core of our being.
Core of our being. Correct. Substratum. Yeah, core of our being.
Silence is heaven's abode.
Heaven's abode.
He's telling his own.
That we are adding.
Yes.
That's okay.
Silence must be mentally, not orally. Silence must be
No,
mentally.
not merely orally, but mentally. Because outer silence is necessary first to keep the inner silence. Otherwise, we keep on talking, and how can we try? So, not merely orally. That word is very important. When you say we are observing silence, normally we mean only not talking to anybody. That is the first stage. Then we have to go inward. When we have plugged all the holes, not talking to anybody, not interacting with anybody, and for some time the mind may be restless. After that the mind becomes cool. We try to do mental ramna, and then the whole thing sets at rest. And at that time, silencing the mind also will take place gradually. Even that process we may not know, but mental chanting will help us to put us on the process of silencing the mind, and ultimately we may get a glimpse of it and then again come back. So this has been beautifully presented to us by our masters. Let us all try. It is not merely to learn by heart. We must try also in our own way. Be the period ever so small. Be the period ever so small. Okay? Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Om Shri Ram Bhajan must lead you into silence. Sada Pranam. Hari Om, Hari Om.